What's up, everybody? It has been a while, too long. I've missed you. I hope you've missed me just a little bit, and everyone had a great Christmas, holidays, New Year, etc. etc. If you're wondering where I've been, if you're a long-time follower and you're like, where the hell has that wizard gone? Well, the short answer is my wife and I are very pleased to announce that we have welcomed a little wizard to the family, and any of you that have kids will know that babies take up all of your time, all of your sleep, and most of your sanity. So I haven't been able to make any videos for you, but we return today with the 2021 Boot of the Year Awards, according to me, Boot Wizard. Now, okay, I'm a bit late to the party, but baby, come on, I can get a little bit of a pass. So get subscribed to the channel. There is a part 2 of this very video coming, so make sure you don't miss out on that by also hitting the notifications bell. Like this video. If you can support us, head to patreon.com/BootWizard and let me know down in the comments what boots you would have given each award. Let's get on with it with the very first award, which honestly is a bit of a slam dunk. The first award is for Best Laceless Football Boot, and honestly, there is no competition in real terms. This is the Speedflow Plus from Adidas, and it really does blow everything else out of the water. There's a strong argument to be made that this is the best laceless boot ever made, never mind the best laceless boot of 2021. Now, yes, I did give it a little bit of grief because I think it was overhyped. It's very good, but it comes with that caveat that's there for all laceless boots. It's very good for a laceless boot. The lace option is still better, but in terms of laceless technology, laceless football boots, you really cannot get better than the Speedflow Plus. Next up, the NEMEZIZ Award. Now, this is not the award for the boot that I've had battles with across the eons. This is the award for the boot that I liked and nobody else really got into. Now, there isn't an actual boot or silo that really fits the bill this year, so we're going with a colorway. And that colorway is the Stella McCartney Paul Pogba Adidas Predator Freak in this vegan special edition colorway. Now, I bought this because it had kind of the vegan vibes and it was really interesting and I definitely wanted to review it, but I'm pretty sure you can understand that this is quite a divisive colorway. It's a bit out there, it's a bit crazy, and honestly, when I saw the original press releases, I did not like the images of this. Bought it anyway, and actually, I love this. I think this is absolutely fantastic. And yes, I understand, not for everybody. So it gets this year's NEMEZIZ Award for the Predator Vegan Paul Pogba Stella McCartney, too many names, Freak, 0.1 or plus boot. Next up, we're going to talk about the most disappointing boot of the year. Now, to be clear, this is not the worst boot of the year. This is the most disappointing, the one that I built up my hopes for, the one that I was like, this is going to be great, and it let me down and left me crying in a corner. This year, it's even worse than usual because I have to award this to Lotto. Lotto is a brand that I generally love. I love their old stuff, and I think some of what they've been doing recently has been absolutely fantastic. And this year, we got a brand new update to one of my favorite Lotto silos, the Maestro. I was super hyped. Everything about this boot just screamed that I should love it, and it just missed the mark by such a degree because of one problem, and that was the heel. They introduced this new Adapto heel fit, which is basically a super soft, flexible heel that is supposed to mold around your foot and give you a really comfortable heel fit, but all it actually does is make you feel unsecure and a bit like your boots don't fit properly. And then you pile on top of that the fact that the sizing on the new Maestro is definitely a bit off. I had to go down a whole size to even get close to these fitting me properly, and it just ended up being disappointing. I expected so much from the boot. I've been blown away by Lotto, their value, their products, and then just a couple of issues with what is an excellent boot in almost every other area left me a bit let down. So unfortunately, the most disappointing boot this year doesn't go to a bad boot, goes to one with bits that really just upset me, and it's the Lotto Maestro. We'll keep going with the negative awards, and this one is for the most pointless boot of 2021. This is the boot that was released that nobody asked for, nobody needed, and was, as the name suggests, pointless. This year it goes to the Phantom GT2. Now the Phantom GT, I think, was an excellent boot. It's still a boot I use, it's one that I really like, and I think that Nike did a good job. There was a couple of areas that definitely could have seen improvement on a GT2, so I was also excited about this. What are they going to bring to the table? What they did bring to the table was a change to the generative texture, which in my opinion was worse. That is the only thing that they changed. And then everything else about the boot was kind of flushed down the toilet in terms of what they'd been telling you. So Nike spent ages promoting this new Phantom GT, telling you about how the generative texture was designed in this amazing way in order to give you the best possible touch and control. And it was hours and hours with robotic legs working it out, and then about a year later they went, actually none of that mattered, we're all full of crap, and essentially we've just changed the texture for the sake of changing the texture to have a GT2. I'm ranting about this one because it did really annoy me, and honestly there was so much that Nike could have done here. It didn't need the update to happen. They're undermining their own message, and the GT2 was nothing if it wasn't pointless. Next up, we're going to talk underrated. What is the most underrated boot of 2021? And this goes to New Balance. New Balance could be considered an underrated brand, and this year they released the update to the Furon V6, Furon V6 Plus, which is a fantastic speed boot. Now, there's a couple of reasons this is underrated. One, it's made by New Balance and they tend to get overlooked. Two, it is in the speed boot category and they are competing against the Speed Flow, the Mercurial, the Ultra. The speed boot category is stacked at the moment with some of the best football boots that companies have potentially ever made, or they're at least up there. And New Balance are trying to break into that without the big clout, the power that some of these big brands have, but they're developing and putting out fantastic product. The V6 Plus is a fantastic football boot. The sole plate is amazing, the upper is great, and there's really not a lot to complain about. The only thing that lets it down is the fact that it's trying to go up against Speed Flows, for example, which are just a superior boot. But considering it is New Balance, you can usually get these on heavy discounts, and I strongly suggest checking out the Furon V6 Plus. And if New Balance keep putting out products of this quality, I can only see them going from strength to strength. So nice work, New Balance, and I hope that next year we get another update to the Furon and we keep heading in the right direction. We've done pointless, we've done disappointing, but neither of those were particularly bad football boots. They're just disappointing and pointless. This award is for a bad football boot, in my opinion. This is the worst boot of 2021. It's an update on a boot that I didn't like in the previous generation. The update is better, but still not a boot that I enjoy in any way. And despite all the good things I just said about New Balance, it's this. It's the current generation of New Balance Tequila. Well, this is the previous, it's not the actual update, but essentially they're very, very similar. I don't like either of them. I think they're a disappointing, pointless, bad laceless football boot, and honestly, New Balance were on a really good track with the Tequila, in my opinion, and this has somewhat thrown it all away for the sake of going laceless. I'd love to see a laced variation, but it does exist, but it's hard to find. But the problem that we have is that the upper is just too damn stiff. I really dislike this football boot, if I'm being honest, and I'm sorry New Balance, but I'm waiting for an update for this one, not because I'm excited, because I can't wait to bin this off. And finally, this is my personal Boot Wizard Boot of the Year award for 2021. Now, this is not the Boot of the Year award that I'm going to give out in part 2, and that is for what I think is objectively the best football boot that was released last year. This is for the boot that I personally enjoyed the most and I will just keep going back to. This is my own boot of the year. Now, sometimes the two collide, they intertwine, they are the same boot, but that is not the case this year. This year, my personal Boot Wizard boot of the year is, it's the Puma Ultra 1.3. This is an absolutely fantastic football boot, if you ask me. It's crazy lightweight, but that's not really why I love it. I just love this material, this kind of blend between a woven and a synthetic feel. It's super thin. The barefoot touch is absolutely fantastic, and the outsole is absolutely nothing to sniff at either. This is a huge improvement on what Puma have been doing previously with their speed boots. This is, in my opinion, one of the best football boots that Puma have maybe ever come out with. I'm a big fan of things like the Evo Speed line, even though they didn't really hold up that well. But this is my second pair, I haven't worn these yet, of Ultra 1.3s. This is my personal Boot Wizard boot of the year, and I'm sure I'll be using this deep into 2022, and I'm looking forward to the next generation if they don't mess this up, which Puma do have a tendency to do from time to time, and they have managed to avoid releasing 800 different slight tweak variations of this so far. So fingers crossed, Puma are on a winner for 2022. Part 2 is coming very shortly, so do get subscribed with the notifications on. Remember to like this video. If you can support us, patreon.com/BootWizard is the place to do it, and get down in the comments and let me know which of these awards you would have given to what boots. That's all from me here today. It's a pleasure to be back. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe still. I know we've still got a huge issue on our hands. Please stay safe, and we will see you very soon.